People think that I am going to care what they think. Still, there was a point in my life when I was a kid that I did kind of care what people thought about me. I was always called the weird kid. I was always called the crazy kid. So now I'm definitely not going to care about being called that. I understand why I was set apart, why I was isolated, why I was never a part of a clique, why I was always picked last in everything. It was to strengthen me for the rejection that is to come. I've always been the guy who's been called weird, who's been called crazy. I got some screws loose because I try to tell people what I know that God is showing me. And people think I'm trying to be self righteous, but I'm not. I even tell them, don't take my word for it. I don't expect you to take my word for anything. I expect everybody to go to God and ask Him and discern whether what I am saying is from God. But most of the people who are calling me crazy don't even have a relationship with God. And that is what I try to get across to them is you gotta try to have a relationship with them. It's a daily relationship. Learn His word, study it, even study other religions alongside of it. That is actually what got me believing in it. Because I was studying the Quran, reading the Hadiths, and studying Hinduism, New Age, which is glorified witchcraft, everything else, Scientology. I was a part of a Scientology rehab in 2012. I didn't know it was until I was there. So I definitely got the inside scoop of what that's all about, even before I came to Christ. Because I got baptized in 2014, but I wasn't all in. I went straight back to the world. I was in rehab in Florida, my second time, which that's a big part of my testimony and my story. In and out of rehab. I was a chronic relapser. But now something changed the last 4 years. In 2019 is when I really started seeking Christ more and praying more every day, all day long, as best as I can within everything I do. And in practicing that, it just becomes like second nature to talk to God throughout the day within everything, like every situation. Even like when you're in a situation where you can't speak out loud, I'm just speaking with Him in my head and in my heart, asking Him questions. What should I do? How should I handle this situation? Etc., etc. It's a daily relationship, knowing His word, knowing how to rightly divide the word, knowing what's good and what is really evil, because we are in the days where good is being called evil and evil is being called good. I don't know exactly where I was trying to go with this video. Well, people calling me crazy and weird. That's where I was getting at. All my life, even before I came to Christ, I was always the weird kid, always set apart, picked last in everything, always picked last and set on the back burner when it came to dating. Still don't have a wife. I'm 35, which is my choice, but I won't get into that. But I was always the guy and the kid who was called crazy all my life. And people think that I'm really going to care what they have to say, because I now know what that was all about. It was God setting me apart and training me and strengthening me for these moments, for when I am persecuted and called crazy. But I urge everybody to call out on Christ themselves and ask them themselves. I don't understand why people think that I'm trying to be self-righteous. It kind of shows that they're projecting their own convictions onto me, because they judge me completely opposite of what I really am. Just from one look at me and talking to me, maybe about 2 minutes, they'll judge me, think that I was the popular kid in school who got all the attention, who had the spotlight, when I was the complete opposite. Picked last in everything, picked last in gym class, picked last on the playground, picked last in dating on the back burner, everything. And I still am. The only people who actually truly notice me are my family. And I am grateful for everything that I have. My mother, my father, my aunts, and my uncles. They love me, all my cousins. And, there is times where I am picked last and set apart from them too at times. But I get it. because I'm not offended by it anymore. I'm not offended by being last in anything anymore. I'm not offended by being called crazy or weird or that I have screws loose in my head anymore. Because I know that the people who are saying that, well, some of them were Christians. They don't have a true relationship with God. They judge me based on what I look like and what they think I am. It's really sad, honestly.